welcome to episode 432 of the Super Ultra Podcast Arcade for October 7th, 2023. I'm one of your hosts, Daniel Nixon, and with me is my co-host, Dominic Stallworth. What's going on this week, Dominic?
All right, man. It's a big week, man, as far as sports goes. Some gaming news, too. It's also big. I mean, hey, we're in the middle. We're really still near the beginning, somewhat close to the middle of the holiday games releases.
Yeah.
Like the end's usually around like Thanksgiving. So like start like in sports, of course, my Orioles are already in it. As of this podcast, they will be playing today. Yeah. So hopefully by the time you hear this, they already won like 2 games or maybe 3. It all depends when I put it up. Against the Texas Rangers. It was all sweeps. Like all the first round was just big sweep. Like nobody, it didn't go to 3 games. There were just 2 games, and people were making fun of the Tampa Bay Rays because they had no fans at their playoff games, and people were making fun of like how they just had no fans, say they're horrible fans, and then people who are in the area are trying to tell the people outside people who don't know anything, which is ain't worth it. Like people, they like what I've come to learn and understand. Like the internet is good in that it really gets you to know what other people think around the world and stuff. And what I learned is that most people are stupid and they like to be stupid. And so, what I mean by that is that ignorance, not only is it bliss, but evil. Even when they know they're ignorant, they want to stay ignorant. Like, so when somebody tells them something, they will argue against that, even though they literally have no idea. They know idea what they're talking about. They know they're literally talking out their ass and just talking about just what they put in their head. But when somebody brings them some type of fact or something, they'll argue against it.
Yeah.
And that's what I learned. Like, yeah, sometimes maybe this ain't worth arguing. Like, you should, like, going back to somebody's comment, sometimes you can just see, like, yeah, they just want to be funny right now, or they just want to feel right. So there's really no point of correcting them because that's not the point of them. They're not here to learn about, like, something. They're just here to just state something, and that's it. So, because then with people from the Tampa Bay area or St. Pete's or whatever, because that's where the team is. That's where the actual stadium is, St. Pete's, St. Petersburg. They tell them that look, it's like an hour away from Tampa Bay, so and plus the area is full of transplants. Yeah. So not a lot of people are going.
They can't get into a ballpark and walk up all those stairs, Dominic. They'll break a hip.
yeah, and old people too. Exactly. So like the old people are definitely transplants. Some people who probably moved there who would take advantage of the old people or transplants. So because they know there's money there. Yeah. So
Florida full of old people and scammers.
Yeah. So first of all, so you got that. And then the city that you have, Tampa Bay, you're an hour away from that area where it's probably better to be. Now there were arguments, people saying that, hey, I've been to St. Petersburg, it's a nice area, blah, blah, blah. And one person said, it's a scenic ride going to the Tampa Bay to St. Pete's.
Sure.
I can tell you this. If you're a guy who goes to like half the home games, see, the scenic ride is not scenic after probably probably less than 5 games.
You get to drive across the causeway and see the water again and again and again. Dominic,
that's like,
come on.
As I'm saying, like what? It's like it's a scenic ride. Yeah, that's only if you go like one time. It's like yes, it is. That's nice. If you're a person who likes to go to a lot of games, and that's inconvenient. Yeah. Like who wants? I don't find it convenient to go to multiple games, taking an hour to get there.
I can't wait until they move the Orioles Stadium to Dundalk, Dominic.
Yeah. So that's no. And then New York people are saying like it takes forever just to get to their game within the city. So they say they don't know what they're complaining about. And I'm like, but how many people live in your city? Yeah. So even if you don't go, there's a good chance a lot of other people could go. It's like, and then they compared it to Minnesota because they're around the same time. Well, technically, they're the same time, but not the same time because it's 3:00 there, but it was 4:00 for us. But it's still a 3:00 hour where they start the game. They say, "Hey, our stadium's full. That's no excuse." And this somebody has to put the facts out. You have 2 times the population of St. Petersburg. St. Petersburg. Why are you comparing a freaking city, a big metropolitan city, to St. Petersburg?
Yeah.
And somebody say, well, St. Petersburg is just like a neighborhood. I don't know why you talking like it's like a city. It's like, look at the population, you freaking dumbass. That's what I said. People, and then nobody, yeah. It's that's why I said, like, it's not even worth arguing with people like that. Now, like, but like I always said, I think that area is just not a baseball. It's not a baseball place. Miami's barely a baseball place either. I just think the state of Florida, it's basically college. I think they watch college ball, but then college ball is also it's not a big stadium. You know, it's not so the people who like it, it's enough to fill those stands.
Yeah.
Because it's not a huge place. So they are building a stadium, I think, that should have not as many seats, but it's still in St. Petersburg. So that's the location's still a problem. I think they tried to move, but I don't know what's the deal. Why they couldn't find some other place to be or other city. All right, so like, it's just not a baseball town, Tampa Bay. So I mean, the area, so like them build a new stadium, it's like it'll probably be good initially, but yeah, it's just not gonna have those peak. But it probably just go down. But that's what I'm thinking. Like, they must be making money some other ways, because I know they ain't about the crowd. Oh, but also they know this. This is something that they already know. So why did they put a game at 3:00 in the afternoon?
Right.
When people are working. And yes, other places, like, people want to say, well, people say, what are you talking about? All these other cities, like, they get full pack on work days or something like that.
Yeah, because those people are working from home.
Exactly. They say they're cities, and then, like somebody said, like with corporate outings and stuff like that, especially corporate places, like they'll let people go, and like and then you already know this is not a baseball, like, they barely get a crowd during the season, so why would you do that? so why would you do that? So yeah, and then Tampa Bay looked bad, like that. Not only that, so they had a bad crowd, and even the commentator was even joking, said, I want to say crowd, but I guess I'll just say group of people. He said group of people because he's like, group of people are not they're pretty upset out here. Yeah. Something like that. But yeah, they so you got a place where it's already, the fan base is pretty limited, and you're gonna put it in the middle of the day on a weekday. It's like you were asking for it. You were asking for it pretty much. MLB. So like, but I'm thinking, I guess it don't matter. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I mean, this is what I always said. It looks bad for It looks bad for television, but money wise, the fans at the games aren't what's making the money, man. It's everything else around it. Yeah. The advertisement and everything. Because I mean, if this like years ago, it wouldn't make sense to build a new stadium there. It would just either you build it in Tampa Bay or you move. That's what it'd be. So it must be something else. There's got to be something else. All right. But yeah. So the games we got Baltimore versus Texas. We got Houston versus who are they? Minnesota. We got Atlanta versus Phillies, which it seemed like is a big deal between the two mascots. Are really going at it because they look very similar. The Philly Fanatic, and I don't even know what the Atlanta mascot's called. But he looks like a born Philly Fanatic. I mean, I'm just being honest. He does. I mean, Philly Fanatic is like probably like the best mascot. But yeah. So, but apparently on Twitter, I haven't looked that up yet. But I just saw like an article saying like mascots going at it on Twitter or something. And I meant to look it up, but I totally forgot. But yeah, that's pretty funny. But yeah, that's a big rivalry because they're both in division teams. And then I believe Philly took out Atlanta last year. Oh. So yeah, so now Atlanta will get that revenge, and they're the number one team, man. Philly could probably do another upset. Did Philly take out Atlanta? Or was it Padres? I forget. Anyway, I want to say they did, but I forget. All right, so what else is there? There's one more game. Oh, Dodgers versus the Diamondbacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, Arizona versus LA. Diamondbacks is a surprise. They're a surprise team. Like, I'm surprised that they actually not only get in the playoffs, but they actually won their round. They beat Milwaukee. So, yeah. All right. So where I'm at here. So that's it. Oh yeah, football. Washington has played on Thursday night, so women playing this Sunday, and we got beat the hell out of the Bears, who's one of the worst teams in the NFL. So I'm like, okay, now we can just lose every game. Let's go ahead and lose every game. Let's get that number 1 pick. Cause like I don't care anymore. Like I'm at the point where either we win every game from now on, or we'll lose every game from now on. Yeah. Like that's the only there's only 2 benefits. It can't be no in between. It can't be no in between. We have to either win all of them or lose all of them. Because if I'm just saying we're gonna lose any of them, I want that number 1 pick.
Yeah,
I want us to have the number 1 pick. So I was like, either you lose them all or you win them all, or you just win a Super Bowl and say like, hey, we're just great. And that, you know what? After that bad game, we woke up and been great. But yeah, they looked horrible. You were destined
to lose this one, Dominic. The only reason Bears won is because Dick Butkus died. So that's all that was.
I didn't know Dick Butkus died. When did he die?
I want to say
it sure wasn't that night.
Wednesday,
because they didn't mention that.
It was before that game. I'm shocked.
I didn't hear nothing about Dick Butkus.
Wow.
Yeah, he died October 5th.
Yeah.
Man, I mean, maybe they did, and I just totally missed it. Man. Well, then again, maybe they mentioned it at halftime, and that's what I probably left. Because they were down 27-3.
Oh wow! So, jeez.
Ended up being 40-20. I think the final score.
Okay.
It was awful. I mean, yeah, it's nothing you can say. It was nothing you can say about that game. Like, good for the Bears. Oh, but then you know what? I know why they lost. Then, I mean, this is fixed.
That's what I'm saying.
Jesus fucking Christ!
You were destined to lose, Dominic. Come on.
Oh, so this is all a fix.
This was a showcase game for the Bears.
You know what? I would have told my brother not to bet on him. I didn't know he died. My brother, nobody mentioned this. But then again, there was on my there is an excuse for my family because we had a death in our family, so we've been talking about that mostly. So I kind of wish my brother still wouldn't bet on the fucking Redskins then, because I would have told him that I would definitely said like this might not be one of those games we want to bet on because a death happened, and we know how people love storylines in the NFL. Even though they try to throw people off with their commercial, they got a commercial where they like making a script for the season.
Oh yeah, I saw that commercial. I was like, man, I was like, just leaning into this, huh?
Yeah, they lean in, and then I like how the people, the idiots, they and they're like, see, they're making fun of y'all because they saying like, how can this be scripted? I say nobody's like people who argue that it's scripted don't say that like actual life turning events outside of football happen is scripted or like, oh, you do this dance during the game. No, it's just like, I think they have an idea who they want to win. And if things happen that way, they try to make it happen that way. But it doesn't always happen that way. I mean, it's kind of like wrestling. Yeah. Wrestling is pretty scripted, but sometimes
the ref has to count through.
And injuries happen, or something off, like something outside of wrestling happens where the person can't fight anymore because they have to go to court or something, and then so they have to
sometimes you brandish a weapon in a road rage case, but still get to wrestle on the grandest stage.
But yeah, so they have to change things. So that's all. Oh, anyway, damn, Jesus Christ! Like I did not know Dick Butkus died. Man, what was he? Darn, I hate when they put the deaths, they don't put the age no more.
I think it was 80.
He was 80.
Yeah.
All right. So where are we at here? So NFL. I don't know anything else to talk about. I hate Taylor Swift now. I think that's about it. Because I had to mute the Kansas City game. Like I was watching it, and I just had to put it on mute because I was like, I don't want to hear about Taylor Swift. Even though Kelsey was complaining about it. Like he was complaining how the NFL is like taking advantage of us and stuff. I was like taking advantage of like basically them, and I'm just thinking like, yeah.
They're bloodsuckers. What do you want?
I mean, then tell them not to come to the games.
Yeah.
I mean, what the fuck? They're gonna do that. I mean, and I want her not to come too because it's annoying as fuck. And I do like Aaron Rodgers, because they played the Jets, and Aaron Rodgers was talking on a Pat McAfee show. After he always talked to Pat McAfee and was it Joe Rogan? Yeah, he seemed like he those like Joe Rogan is his conspiracy man because they
Joe
into
Rogan's
that
his
stuff,
medical advisor.
Yeah, exactly. He talked about the game, saying how they stopped Kelsey. He said like, yeah, we stopped Mr. Pfizer. He said like we did a good job against Mr. Pfizer.
I heard something about that.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he just kind of just rolled with it.
Yep.
Like and I was like, yo, literally just called the man Mr. Pfizer. Now, if you don't know, he does a Pfizer commercial, Kelsey. And there's a lot of people who are upset about that apparently because I looked online. I was like, oh.
I didn't realize that was why. I guess I was like, I guess he took the vaccine and said so.
Oh,
gotcha.
So, and like people were saying like how they were upset with Kelsey. Like, say, I used to like Kelsey, but I don't like how he sold out to the Pfizer company and blah, blah, blah. And said, yeah, I used to then like Aaron Rodgers. Now I like him because he spoke out against that stuff. And then people had to remind him that, the guy who owns the Jets is Johnson & Johnson. He works with Johnson & Johnson. So, what's that all about? They say that's not the same because Kelsey had a choice. And then somebody said, Rodgers had a choice.
Yeah.
So it gets to be like,
they forced him at gunpoint to sign that contract. Dominic, how dare you?
They're fucking idiots. Listen, I'm not gonna argue about the whole vaccine thing because there have been lies. There have been lies on the other side. I can't dispute that. But I'm not gonna argue about like, this vaccine is all bad and stuff, and it's killing people. I even though I don't believe that. I don't believe it's killing people how the internet poses it is like people like millions of dying, like from this vaccine or something like that. I just
I'm
can't.
Dead right now, Dominic.
But I will say that like how like you just not liking a player because of doing the Pfizer thing, and you're like if you're gonna go that far, you gotta go all in. You gotta be like fuck the Jets. But everybody who goes to the Jets, they should all be boycotting the shit out of them. They're the pharmaceutical company owner, something like that. Like, what are you doing? Like, and then you call them a sellout. Say they're all sellouts. He just sold to Pfizer. What's the difference? Like they sell to McDonald's. That kills people. That McDonald's probably kill more people than Pfizer. I'm pretty sure of that. Damn. All right.
There's one last NFL thing we have to talk about, Dominic.
What?
Toy Story.
Oh yeah, the Toy Story game. Oh yes, and it was done by Unity, as I found out that on that day. Yeah. What I was saying, like they use a Unity engine on that, and you like you were saying
that might be the worst thing that Unity has done in the past month.
And it's still up there to be rewatched. So they are they getting money continuously as people watch it? I'm gonna watch it a lot of times just for Disney has to pay them.
Tony Khan's gonna go broke down. Don't do that.
So all right. So yes, they did the game Toy Story where they like have the actual animation kind of react. They kind of react to how the players are actually reacting live.
It's almost like they're motion capturing.
Sometimes, yeah. So it's kind of like capturing them and stuff like that. It was pretty wonky because especially it got wonky at the beginning with the placing the ball with Mr. Claw, like it because unfortunately they had the cameras been locked to the ball, so it moved the ball. So we just followed the ball on the side, and then they had just kind of did the.
They would drop the ball down, and then the ball would just slide across the field.
Yeah. And then when they finally got to the point where we can see like the game regular again, I do like how the commentators they really were just going with the flow with it.
Yeah, they were committed to that.
Yeah, they did. They said we got some technical difficulties, but they still talk about the game stuff. But then you also and you can hear there's a delay because you can hear like the live game, but the characters didn't react, and that's understandable. Even though I kind of wish they could have got to a point where they kind of we will automatically be delayed. They, like, fine, we'll be
just
delayed.
Delay the audio along with it. Yeah,
exactly. That's what I was thinking. Like, I was surprised they didn't do that. But sometimes they say, "Oh, a catch," but the ball be on the ground, and I'll be thinking like, "Oh, they incomplete." They say he caught the ball, so he caught it. Or then like how they catch the ball, it just be so weird. I forgot the first touchdown catch. It was, I don't know if he actually caught the ball in the game.
No,
but
he didn't.
But I do like that they do have when they were doing some type of dance, like with a tackle, they were moving like they were doing something. So I say, oh, they must be doing something on the field. It just looks weird as shit right now though, but they must be doing a little dance or something over there. Like it looks, it was funny. I mean, it was nice too. They had trivia and stuff that teach the kids or adults about the game.
I definitely
especially my mother. I think my mother should have been watching that because I'm tired when she asked me questions about that shit.
It was definitely focused around like trying to bring someone who isn't necessarily familiar or as familiar with the game into the game.
Exactly. Oh, and I liked how the field goal kick went and hit the blocks down.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
Like the idea and the concept were pretty good. Like Slinky Dog being the first down marker and the claw dropping the ball.
Him going backwards when they had to pull the ball back, and it was like I liked how he just moved back. You know, but there was a penalty.
Like all that stuff around it was good. It was just the execution was pretty poor. It's like they didn't test the stuff. It was like, all right, we're just gonna roll the dice, see if this works. Nobody's watching this London game anyway.
I like the lore because a lot of those were Andy's toys, Daniel. A lot of them were in 3 and 4, where he was a grown up and he was already going to college in 3. He was probably a man in 4. So I don't know
what are they doing in Andy's room.
Yeah, why that bunny thing was there. Like, where the hell you're at? You probably weren't even made yet. You probably wouldn't even, you were already made yet. How dare you? And which room was that? Was that the one he moved to the new house or what? I don't like it, Daniel. I don't like it. All right. It was cool. It was a cool way to watch the game. It was a horrible game, so that probably was the best way to watch it because it was pretty much one-sided for Jacksonville. Yeah, they played Atlanta, so yeah, it was cool. It was a cool way to watch it, and they're supposed to have another a London game tomorrow. Jacksonville's playing again.
Yeah,
they're playing against. I think it's supposed to be a better team this time. No, not Buffalo. Is it Buffalo? It's Buffalo, right? I think it is. I know it's a good team.
Jags. Yeah, Buffalo. You're right.
Okay, so yeah, so you got you got Buffalo. This kind of close to a New England kind of area. So maybe the English, Buffalo fans, play some OJ fans there. Yeah. So if I root for, I don't know about it. Yeah, I don't think it's another Toy Story thing though happening. I wish they just would do it. They just do that all the time.
Yeah.
That'll be the way for me to wake up to watch the games, or at least stay up because I mean that's a good game. I don't know. It all depends how I feel at that time of morning.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, that's got to be hell for the West Coast, but you know what? I don't care. They have it good at night.
Yeah.
But they got those night games.
Exactly.
So they can go to hell. All right. So what? I think that's it for sports, really. So what you got? Any wrestling news?
Yeah, real quick on wrestling. NXT had their No Mercy pay-per-view last weekend. That was Saturday. That was a lot of fun. There were some decent matches on there, and it was headlined by Becky Lynch and Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany Stratton was formerly the NXT Women's Champion before Becky beat her a couple of weeks ago. And for someone who has not been wrestling for a very long time, I think she's only on like year 2 at this point. Basically coming in as a former athlete and then basically just getting her training through WWE, has been doing an incredible job. And then Sunday was AEW's Wrestle Dream pay-per-view. Not quite finished rewatching it or watching that, getting caught up on it. I'm in the middle of the main event now, which is Christian Cage versus Darby Allin. But everything I've seen up to that was a lot of fun. A lot of guys it was in Seattle at their climate change Pledge Arena or whatever it is. So Brian Danielson, he's from Seattle, and he faced off against Zack Sabre Jr., who is a guy from New Japan, who is a really great technical wrestler. They had a fantastic, like, very technical style match. Hangman Adam Page had a match against Swerve Strickland, who was a guy from the area. Swerve got a big win against him, and hopefully that's leading to something bigger for him, because he's a guy that he came in as a guy that was not really handled very well on the main roster of WWE, eventually got released. NXT, he was doing some all right stuff, but he's got a lot of charisma. He's got a lot of in-ring skill, and they brought him into AEW. He did some tag team stuff with Keith Lee. He won the titles, and they kind of had a split feud there because, like, Keith Lee and him didn't really weren't on the same page. So eventually they lost the titles. It seemed like they were going to have a feud between them, and it just kind of fizzled out. They haven't really done anything with that. And ever since then, they've been trying different things on with Swerve. Like, he's had different people in his faction, but I think they have a good faction around him now, and I think they can push him up the card a little bit better now. The biggest thing out of the main event, though, is Christian Cage, of course, Edge and Christian fame as that tag team back in old WWF. Edge is now in AEW. He left WWE. His contract was up, and he is now joining Christian, except not really joining Christian right now. They're on the opposite sides of things. Obviously, eventually they'll end up together. But Christian's doing, like, amazing heel work right now. They weren't going to bring in Edge or Adam Copeland as his real name, as he's going by now, the Rated R Superstar, because he was able to get that moniker, which he previously used in WWE back during, like, the Attitude Era. Not Attitude Era, but the preceding stuff after that, or the post, whatever. Anyway, the stuff after that, kind of mid-2000s, when he was, like, fighting Mick Foley and stuff like that. So it'll be interesting to see. It's kind of a nice replacement of swapping out CM Punk with Edge now. They have a lot of similarities, but Edge doesn't seem like a guy that's going to get himself in a lot of backstage trouble. So, switch out another veteran wrestler who can put on good matches and do a decent job talking on the microphone. I think that'll be fun. And when they get around to finally, like, having him team up with Christian, I think that's going to be a lot of fun. And hopefully that'll be, like, as those guys wind down their careers and put a lot of younger talent over. I guess, speaking of CM Punk, it sounds like the rumors are going around that WWE is going to potentially pick him up. That should be interesting. They do have Survivor Series coming up that is going to be, I believe, in the Allstate Arena in Chicago. It's going to be in Chicago. I don't remember if that's the specific arena that it's going to be in or not, though. That would be big. I think the most interesting thing is going to be, like, how long that lasts. Like, he wasn't happy in WWE. He left. He eventually, came back out of retirement, came to AEW, and just immediately got himself into backstage trouble because he can't be happy, seemingly. So I don't think him going back to WWE, where they're not going to let him run roughshod pretty much the way they did in AEW, I don't think that's going to work out for him. I think he's going to be extremely unhappy, and it's going to be evident pretty quickly. And, that's going to be the end of it. Hopefully we get some fun matches and some fun feuds out of it. It seems like they're setting up for him versus Seth Rollins, which should at the very least be a fun match. But I just don't know if he's a guy that's going to allow himself to be content with where they're going to stick him on the card if he's not at the very tippy top, the way, AEW handled him. And if that's the case, it just seems like it's basically the formula for bad things. So hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully he comes in and maybe the structure of WWE helps him, settle down a little more and and realize that his place isn't necessarily at the top of the card. He's a veteran now. He's there to help put some of the younger guys over and put on good matches. So we shall see. He has worked sort of for WWE because they did like the after SmackDown, I think, or whatever after show on ESPN for a little while. It was him and Samoa Joe and Booker T and Renee, who ironically enough, out of all of those people, the only person that's still working for WWE right now is Booker T. But everybody else is in AEW. So we'll see. We'll see if CM Punk shows up and how that works out for him. But that should be interesting.
Yeah, I didn't think it, like, he's actually going back. I mean, that's amazing.
It's rumors right now, but we'll see. I mean, WWE is a company for the most part, at least when Vince was in charge, were willing to work with people as long as they thought bringing those people in were going to make them money. They can put up with some of CM Punk's shenanigans as long as he's going to be a draw, and seemingly he was for AEW. So, hopefully, like I said, they can kind of come to an agreement and keep him in a place where he is happy, I guess.
All right. So I guess we get to what we were watching. So none of us really watched anything.
Nah.
I did watch like one episode of the new Castlevania show called Castlevania Nocturne, I think it's called.
Is that just separate completely from the previous Castlevania?
Yeah, because it takes place during the French Revolution.
Oh, okay.
And the other one took place like long before that. I forgot. Yeah. I don't know. Some Victorian time, maybe. I don't know. Probably earlier than that. Probably earlier than that, really. It takes place during the French Revolution. Though the Belmont, I think who is this Belmont name? That's his name, but I know he's it seemed like he's American because they was in America, and then he moves to France when he was older. Well, okay. When he was younger, he moved, and as he was older, he's in France, and it based on the first episode, because I'm gonna spoil it. So it seemed like all right. It seemed like I'm interested to see where the story goes. The animation, the fighting, the stuff looks good. Just like I enjoyed it in the first one. So I'm curious. I haven't looked at any reviews of the show yet, so I don't know how people are taking it. But so for the first episode, I'm not hating it. So I'm like, okay, it's all right. I did watch an episode of One Piece. Like I think I have like maybe 2 episodes left. Like how many episodes was it for One Piece?
Was it like 8 or 12? Piece.
12? I didn't think it was double digits.
I don't know that it was that many. Let's see. Episode guide.
Because if it's 8, I probably have 2 more episodes left.
Yeah, just 8.
Okay, so I have 2 more episodes left. So, yeah, I just got to the point where they met Sanji, the one of my favorite characters from the show. He's the chef, but he's like a guy who's always into the ladies, and but he can really kick. Like he has an ability, like he could just kick the shit out of anything. Like that's what he does with his legs. But yeah, it was a pretty cool episode. Also, it's an episode where Zoro fights the greatest swordsman in the world, which that happened in the show too, and they just changed things up a bit with it. But yeah, it's yeah, man, I'm really liking the series. So far. I only have 2 more episodes left, but it's a good series. Yeah, I can hope Netflix. Yeah, well, Netflix definitely. They say they're gonna do a season 2. I'm just curious like how they go with this, because like how big One Piece is. Like how do they do the story, and how do they do these other characters in the future, like that damn reindeer character that always changing shape and everything. I don't know how they do that. Yeah, so I guess we get to what we were playing, so I guess you'll start.
Yeah, I've just been playing some more Cocoon. I think I'm pretty close to the end now. They're not quite doing like the what is the one inside? Not I was thinking Limbo. They're not quite doing the inside thing where gameplay like switches up significantly between sections, but it definitely evolves. I told you last week basically how there's basically like two inputs. You move around, you pick things up. But with the use of the thing that you pick up, it's typically like this ball, this orb that then can transport you inside the orb, and you can pick up other orbs and put them inside the orb. The puzzle mechanics that they do using that aspect definitely evolve and kind of push you to think a little harder in some scenarios. And again, like the boss fights where they're using these different concepts. This latest one that I did was really cool. It uses kind of like a teleportation aspect as well. So yeah, I'm really enjoying that game a lot. It looks very nice. It definitely, like, it has a pretty flat art style across the thing, but there are definitely more elaborate things going on as you get further into the game. And it has like the orb that you carry around definitely has like this nice like lighting model that kind of glows around as you pick it up and move it around the area. So yeah, it's a really cool game so far.
Yeah, I played some, and yeah, like you said, the mechanics is it's pretty simple, and I like they have some ingenious puzzles in there that I really like, which kind of reminds me like of the Inside game. I mean, we played years ago, so yeah, I enjoyed what I played of that game. I like it. Yeah, I want to finish it. Also, yeah, I'm nowhere near as close as you. I just played up to I beat the first boss. I know that. Okay. And that's where I'm basically at. I was with an orb where it lights up the like you can't see the platform, but you see it when you have the orb in your
the red
wings or whatever you got there. But the game is pretty good. So I've been playing some more Marvel Snap. I've been liking this new deck I have, which is with the I did talk about the Invisible Woman deck. I mean the card I had, right?
Yeah.
So. In this deck, though, it's Invisible Woman also. It's basically the same. Like, that's basically my finishing move. But this one is better because I have other cards that, just in case I can't get that finisher, I still have a chance to really win. Or I have a really good chance of getting that finisher regardless. There's a card called Iron Lad. Well, I did not know that he had a boy, like a little Robin. Iron Man had Robin or something, but whatever. He copies the top deck of your card, so I kind of placed that just in case I don't have Hela or the MODOK cards, and hopefully that turns into those cards. And man, it's been quite a few times where that has won me the game.
Nice.
And I just love this deck. I mean, I actually have lost with my finisher a couple times, just like maybe 3 times I have. Because the other guy just had other, like, he had some, like, it'll be a space where it copies a card you had, so he'll copy like a high powered card he had, it'll be somewhere else. Where when I bring cards back to life, they don't copy themselves. They ignore the spaces almost basically, because they're not, because basically that space says you have to play the card, and I guess you're not technically playing it. Even though I feel like you are playing it. If it's brought back to life, it's on the board. I'm like, it counts as points, so you're playing it. So I'm like, whatever. Yeah, because I make some mistakes. Or like sometimes I'm not really paying close attention. Like some games I know I could have won, but I'm not really paying attention. Like I'll see something where it's like cards can't be destroyed here, and I'll play a card to destroy one of their cards, and then I'm like, what happened? I said, oh shit. I said I didn't read it. I didn't. I'll say, oh, I'll pay attention. Or I place a card down before I make a mistake. And I think there is a thing you can reverse if you have enough energy, though. I think if you only have enough energy, you can take a card away. I never used it before in my life, though. I always forget about it, because one time I was just playing around, pressing a button. I said, oh yeah, you can do this if you have enough energy, though. I think sometimes I don't. But yeah, one day I'll remember just to try it out. I just want to see what it does. But I never seen nobody else use it. That's the thing. I never seen somebody else uses it. But then again, I guess you would never know because technically you don't see them put their cards down until it's official. So I would never know. But yeah. But it's been man. I just been a lot of times, man, that I like. They be snapping. They be thinking they're gonna win, and I have that combo just come up and win. And there's been a few people who actually give me pounds, man. But it was one dude. He was pissed off because he just kept putting up Miss Marvel at the end. He kept spamming it. Basically, that means fuck you. So that's what he was trying to say. And man, I reported him. I put the. It's like there's a report thing up there though, which I think because there's a mute button. And I was hoping the mute button was like you mute the emojis, but I think it's muting the. I guess you can talk to the guys. Cause I guess I don't know what else the mute button's for then. Yeah. Because it ain't for the sound. Because you mute them. It's not like muting the sound because I already mute that. The music and stuff. Which you know what?
Realize this entire time, Dominic, that Mike's been listening to you and sending it to those kids that you're just cursing out.
Hell yeah, they be hearing me saying I hope they get cancer and shit. But yeah, so I could have sworn I thought I heard somebody when I first played this game, and I think I hit the mute button on them, but I think you have to hit it each time because it isn't this day.
That's what it says here.
So you can talk. So you can't talk in the game.
No, there's no auto mute feature in the settings, which means you have to press "I'd prefer not to be annoyed" button each time we start a game. It's clear most opponents don't use these emotes to enhance the experience, but rather disrupt it. So it seems like it should be doing the emotes.
Oh shit! So that is it. Oh, okay. Oh, so that's what people complain about that you have to keep doing it each time you play someone. That's annoying that you have to do it each time. If you're going to have it in there, just have it where I can just do it. Now that I know, I'm doing it all the time. Yeah. And because it's not enough nice people. It's not enough nice people because I feel bad because when I'm hurt and leaving and I see somebody do a pass, oh man, so you actually being nice, and I would have did too because hey, I used to be nice, but then once I figured out what that Miss Marvel meant, I said, oh, these people were saying fuck me all this whole time, man. I thought they were just saying like thumbs up, you played a good game. No, they were saying fuck you. So you know what? Yeah, fuck those kids. But but yeah, I've been having a good time playing that game now. Like I've been winning a lot, and like I'm still waiting I still haven't got the card. Like I didn't even know about this deck. It's a site where you can go and I put down like, hey, what's a deck I can make with all the cards I have? And they show you all these combination of decks and cool. Percentages of what they can win. Mm-hmm. And this one, it's fun. That's the thing. It's like, even if I lose, I'm like, fuck it. But it's actually fun, and it's not that hard to do. It's like, it's not really hard and complicated. I think the most complicated one, if you're really good at it, you can really kill, is the one where it's the move deck when cards constantly moving around. And if you can really master that one, you can pretty much destroy almost anybody, even like my deck. Even if I have like my best combination, pretty much destroy it. Then you got people who get lucky to have the Galactus. Like if you put Galactus in an empty space in the game where you have no cards, you destroy all other locations. So you only have that location. Oh wow! So all depends. Like, and I have lost. At that, yeah, that's when I have lost my combination because they destroyed it, and all I had was just one card there that wasn't going to do anything, so I had to quit. Because I think it was 7 moves because he put that on a 6 move, and there was a 7th turn on this one. I said, oh fuck it, I lost. But yeah, and I couldn't get Galactus the time I had a chance to because it gave me some other card that I didn't fucking with. It was probably, what was it, Howard the Duck or some shit. But Howard the Duck, I think he works. The thing is, Howard the Duck works good with a deck, but I don't have none of those cards really. So it's pointless right now to have him. Yeah, so this is like my best deck. This is my best deck. This is my best and most fun deck for playing. I only play really other decks when they have those missions to do something. Like right now is a mission to play 1 cost cards because I don't have no 1 cost card in my deck. So I think I added like Nightcrawler because I had to. There's also something special with Nightcrawler this deck too. It's like the theme is kind of Halloweenish, so they added this a new card, woman who I never known of. I forgot her name is something Bloodstone or something shit.
Yeah.
And said, "Oh yeah, what?"
Elsa Bloodstone.
Okay, who is she?
Something like that. She was in the Werewolf at Night thing on Disney Plus.
Oh, that's something recent. I was thinking about something like she's an old comic book character or something.
I mean, she is, but that's where I know her from.
Oh well. I mean, I was hoping you'd say something more important then, huh? Say
Okay.
something like where she's
from Blade.
Okay then. All right, there you go. Yeah, Disney Plus, man, get the crap out of here. But yeah, Elsa Bloodstone. So she's like the new character, and she does stuff. I forgot what she did. I saw people play her a few times, and I yell at them and say like, "Oh, you bought the pack, you cheating bastards!" It's like you got all these new cards, and when I beat them, I'm happy because I was like, you paid for it, I ain't pay shit. What else? Yeah, so Nightcrawler. I think he has a variant, and some of these cards have very special variants. And I think there was a Midnight Sun birthday thing because I got a variant of Doctor Strange or something like that.
Oh, cool.
And there's a variant, some other characters out there too for Midnight Suns. So yeah, they do a lot of things with that. So yeah, I had Nightcrawler. I haven't played yet, but if you win so many times with Nightcrawler in your deck, you get some credits. So I'm going to be trying to do that. But yeah, man, I'm just having fun with this. I'm so glad I got a deck like that's fun because it was getting to a point where I was like, I don't know, I can't beat anybody because I was like, all these people I'm going against just have these special decks and I don't have these cards, but now I got them. Now I'm just waiting for them to do a patch where it ruins it for me. I'm just waiting for that shit to happen. It's like, oh, you can't do what you want to do anymore, and I was like, oh, fuck you. All right. So, what else have I played? I play a little bit of Gotham Knights. That is on Game Pass now, just to test it out to see how it plays on the Xbox Series X through cloud streaming. And it does not. It plays okay, but it just doesn't look great. But then again, like I said, I'm doing the cloud streaming, so it's not. But it's just, I thought it would look better. It's not impressive. It's basically what I thought. That this is a game that looked like it could have been played on the Xbox One. Right. This is what people said before too. It just seems like a last gen game that they just forced to be next gen, and I guess current gen now. And yeah, and I was like, yeah, that for somebody like a friend who I know probably will find some joy into it. He probably too much, but him not being a player is like, yeah, it's not worth upgrading. It's not impressive looking or anything, and that to do that, like if you have this gen and definitely you got Game Pass, yeah, it's definitely worth it. It's definitely worth the play to try it out. I also wanted to try to play with other people, but I haven't got that far because you gotta get so far in the story, and I was like, damn, because I just wanted to see because I didn't want to do it when I was on PC because I wasn't running that well, like it was slow, and which now, since I got a faster SD drive, it might be better now. But I already deleted that game, so I'm like, I'm not. And then through the now that it's on Xbox, it'll be different saves I have to use, and yeah, it's just too much for that. But yeah, so I played a little bit of that. I also played some where am I here? Oh, some more Starfield. I'm still doing the undercover case with working with the Crimson Crimson Sun, I believe. Or Crimson Fleet. I forget what their names are. But I looked ahead to see can I just join them? And I think yeah, you can. You can just join them and just lie to the UC. But you'd be against them. But then, like somebody said, and that they said in the guide, they said then your crew won't like you. I don't think they won't leave you, but they'll dislike it. And see, that's the bad thing is that it's I want to do bad things, but then I have to get rid of my whole crew because I don't want them to know because I don't want to see how much a dislike Like, oh, this person dislikes this, that you did this. Because one time I think I was trying to pirate a ship. And like, and I was fighting some the UC, who is the what is it, United, whatever they called. I don't know what's the season. United Colonies, I think they call. Yeah, and then I just hear everybody complaining on my ship like, oh, I didn't sign up for this, and it's like, this is not good. It's like, get the fuck out. Get the fuck. Hope you just jetting your asses out of here, man. Like up there. I'm like, I just want to shoot some guys. And I was like, damn, there's all this moralistic shit. I said, I need to find I just wish to find a crew where some, like that they're okay with me doing this shit. And I think there are a few. And I think because one of them I did picked up somebody who seemed like they're okay with that. One person who I thought was okay, but she was like, I'm trying to get out that life. So, oh, fuck you. I didn't pick you up to get out the life. Pick you up because I thought you won this life so I can have you and like put those constellation people back at the hideout and only bring them when I'm doing the main quest. And I'm kind of bad at the ones you can have relationships with. And they're all like morally good. So you can't, if you want to if it's something like you want to be with that person or something, you don't want to take them out if you're going to start pirating, like because they're not going to like it. And I'm like, that's kind of fucked up. It's like, come on, Starfield. And that's a little disappointment how big this game is. You couldn't have like people have a significant other or something that isn't moral standing, you know, like they're just pirates. Like they're okay with pirating. I'm like, pirates have love too, you know. People commit crimes, love, Daniel.
Of course.
But yeah. So that's a little disappointment. I mean, for a game like this RPG and this big,
yeah,
I felt like they could have done a lot more with that. It'd probably be in the DLC, Daniel. It'd be in the DLC. Yeah. All right. So, was there anything else about the game? I did. I've done a lot of shit in the game. But I was here to get through this. Disney Speedrun. So I finally played that. It's free to play. It was. I didn't play against anybody. I only played a little. Like I only played through the single player stuff. Mm-hmm. The tutorial and about like 3 courses. And it's simple. I'm not a good guy to judge like kart games. You know, it's like if I can press it and go fast, and if I can turn, it's good. You know.
So I have to use the brake. No, then we're doing all right.
Yeah. So it seemed okay for now. I was playing as Mickey Mouse. Is that, like I said, it's definitely free to play because you can see a lot of things locked, and that I can't get or anything. I can't be Aladdin or anything. So but I played on the courses I play. I know it's like Pirates of the Caribbean course. I'm trying to think. It was one course that was kind of Disney-ish, and they kind of like a. I like it was like the Mickey Mouse Club song was playing in the background, but it was like with a nice like current type of style beat to it or whatever. I'm trying to think. It was another course I played. The Hercules theme course was pretty cool too. Yeah, it was. It looked nice. Yeah, you can pick up and play it. You know. Yes, they're going in. It's just the menu system. It's just funny. Now these menu systems all look the same, like Fortnite and shit. Like you got the bluish background, you know, and everything, and then just the way the font and all that stuff happens, man. It's just like, man, this is just like Fortnite. Yeah. What else? Did I do anything else special in the game? I can't think of it. Because I played it early in the week. I played some Vampire Survivor. I played that new DLC, that map, and it's like a big fantasy forest. It's that place like where there is snow, you know, and there's there's snow. There's sometimes not snow. It's like there's a maze. Like a maze with hedge maze you go through, which that was pretty bad because I got stuck and almost died because trying to get rid of enemies. Yeah, I think I went through most of the map. It's huge, just like the other DLC was huge. It's cool how they have like different enemies. Like I went to like a mushroom, and I'm thinking like because I don't think I will see those enemies. I think the enemies show where you. It depends where you at, and not the time. I'm not positive on that though, because I just felt like I saw those mushroom men when I went to a place where there was mushroom houses. I didn't see them when I was in the hedge maze, so I almost felt like maybe that happens. Like these enemies come if you're in a certain area, which is kind of cool. So yeah, I mean, I enjoyed that. I unlocked some new abilities and everything, and achievements while playing that. Also played the new game Lamplighters League that just came out. This is made by Paradox. That's what they call it, right? Is it Paradox Interactive or something? What is it?
Paradox Interactive, I believe, is
okay.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now this game, it reminds me of XCOM, the type of like RTS, you know.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Like battles, or not real time, but kind of turn based, like XCOM-ish kind of battles. But it's done differently. Like you walk through the stages like just like a regular action top down action game, and then when you see enemy, now you can sneak up and get them. But when you get into a fight, that's when it turns to that RTS type of battle. That kind of reminds you of like XCOM or I guess Mario and Rabbids and things of that nature. And yeah, I mean, and it has a story to it. Like I'm at the very beginning, so I'm still technically part in the tutorial stage of this game. So I don't really know what is definitely going on. I know we're spies and whatever, and we got the package, and now we're trying to get out of here. And then I just met the guy who was supposed to take me to the pilot. And each person has a different ability. Like one person, he's more sneaky, and he can easily sneak up behind people, and he can also climb and do stuff that this other lady can't. But the lady, she was strong, where she can just kind of kick this wall down or something for us to get through or something like that, and do. And he had a gun. I don't think she didn't have a gun, but she had a fist, so you know she could punch. So that's how. And the guy who I just met, I know his ability. He can break locks or something like that, but I haven't used him in combat yet to see what he exactly does. But it's interesting. Like this game, I mean, so far I'm interested in it. I don't know what the reviews are on the game, but it does catch my eye. I do like the look of it. The voice acting is pretty good. It really has that kind of adventurous kind of like setting, like adventurous, like in times of World War II kind of setting. You know, kind of like Indiana Jones-ish or what others?
League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, exactly. It has that kind of feel to it. What else are we in? What other games I've got here? Oh yeah, Dark Tide is finally officially out on Xbox, so the Xbox console people can finally play it with the PC guys, and they did a big update for PC also. So I forgot what they added. Did they add a new? I don't know if they added a new character, but they added some things. I'm not sure, but I haven't really played it much before this update, so I couldn't really tell you what the differences are. But I played it through the streaming because it's only Xbox Series X and S exclusive. So I only played it through the cloud streaming and on for the console, and it didn't seem like it ran. I mean, it runs okay, but it didn't feel like 60 frames per second. But when I watch people talk about it, they say there's a performance mode, and I'm saying, is it performance mode like from the console? Because it sure wasn't in the menu where I could change it.
Yeah,
like, is it on the console menu where you can change it? Is that what they're talking about?
Because I think in most games it's built into the game. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, and because I had paused and I was looking for like, so where's performance mode? Because I see up here that people say performance mode, and I'm like, how the fuck do I get performance? And maybe I haven't. Do I have to do it while I'm actually in the game? Like, but I mean, when I say in the game, I mean like in a match.
Yeah.
Because I was just in the menu part, like not the menu, but the world where you're walking around and you get to pick what match you want to play or your equipment and stuff like that. You know, the home base. So I didn't try to hit pause again to try to change it, so I don't know if it's in there. That wouldn't even make sense, honestly. Like, if that was the case, I don't know. Like, I'm very confused. Is it just because I'm on cloud streaming? I'm just not seeing it, but I don't know. I saw the difference when I play other games where you could change the performances. Like, I see the differences. Like, I mean, it's not that I don't like. It's not that. It's just that I don't see a difference. I don't even see an option. And it sounds like these people are saying like, "Hey, this one's really good on the Series X." And somebody said like in performance mode, and I was like, "So there is a mode? So you saying there is a mode that I can actually change it to?" I don't know. I have to look this. I have to look again to see what's going on. Maybe it's a mistake on my end. Yeah. I'm just not seeing it. Um, but yeah, I played a bit through the cloud streaming. It played well. And I played some, but I ended up eventually just playing on my PC because it seems like it plays better there, even though it doesn't look as good. Like, but some detail is not on my PC version because I have a older PC. But it runs better on my PC, so I just stuck playing there, and we died. I think the group I was with died on the mission. The most recent play I did near the end. Unfortunately, that sucked. I mean, it seemed like it was all easy going, and then it just got hard, near the end. But yeah, I mean, it's fun. I mean, I like it. So far, I did get a new gun. Like I hate that fucking little gun I had before, but when I finally got enough to get a better gun, I definitely liked it a hell of a lot more. So you're really gonna be mixing it up between melee and the gun because even if you try to stick with a gun most of the time, you're gonna run out of ammo, and so that's why the melee it works. It does its job. I wish that my abilities were better, but maybe if I had to level up, I have something better. Because right now it's just okay. Or I wish I had more than one ability. Maybe that's really what it is. And I don't know. Maybe you do get more than one if you level up. I have no idea. Right now, I'm only gonna use like one ability, which kind of just shoots me forward real fast. And I think I don't know. Something else. It buffs you in some kind of way. With it, but yeah. The game is fine. Like this is the kind of game I've been looking for. A nice co-op game. That's fun. The Horde-ish or something like that. I know we got or at least we did have Back for Blood. I think that's gone now, right? Or it's leaving. I don't know. It's one or the other. I know Back for Blood. I know it's not gonna be up there for either longer or it's gone. I'm not sure. But yeah, this one. I mean, if I play some more, I'll see. Maybe it might be better than Back for Blood. I just have to play some more though to really get a feel for it. Because Back for Blood seemed like it was all right. But then the difficulty, it was just like I think it was ramped up too much, even on easy. And with this so far, it doesn't feel that hard. But I haven't played enough stages to say that in enough time. Also, all right. So, what else have I played? I think that's it. I think I said everything. So, I guess we'll take a quick break. When we get back, we'll get to the flashback segment.
All right.
And we're back. And now we're doing the flashback segment. So we're flashbacking to 2013, 2020, that's the 2023. I mean, 2013, in October. So, what we got here, it was a game I forgot to say last month. I know I must have missed it, but Shadow Warrior came out September 26th, and not the original Shadow Warrior, but with the remake, like basically, the reimagining of it that came out 10 years ago, and I really enjoyed this game. I was surprised how much I've enjoyed it. I loved it. It was fun. It was funny. I love the dialogue, even though some people might consider it racist, but hey, we deal with it. But
not as bad as the original one for sure.
Oh, no, definitely not as bad as that one. But yeah, that game was hilarious. I mean, it was so much fun too. It felt good. I liked it. I was so surprised how well I enjoyed that game.
Yeah.
Like, especially compared to Doom. Like people love Doom, and I was playing this. I was like, man, I you know what? Doom may be the better game. I mean, it probably is, but I think I came out enjoying it just as much as I enjoyed Doom. So
yeah. It's almost wild to think too, because this came out before Doom. So like you can kind of see, it feels like at least that Doom definitely took a little bit from this, you know.
Yeah. All right. Now we're in October now. So the big one is this, like, because now Grand Theft Auto did come out a month before, and that was without online, because they said like we're gonna come out with online a month later, and they did. And thing is, it blew up, man. This was totally like you realize this was so much better than 4. And I played some, and I was like, oh, it's all right. But I ain't really had nobody really to play with. I mean, my friend, but we kind of found time. But then we eventually did find time, and it was like very confusing at first, going like trying to really figure out how to do things. But when they got into heists and stuff like that, when they brought that in, that was when it's like, oh man, this is so much fun. But the only thing is that the problem was that you have to have the group has to stay in, and when somebody leaves or quits, it's over. It kicks you out, and it's like, oh man. So this is where you have to have some dedicated people. So that's why it's good to either have dedicated friends to do it with, because you know they'll stick around instead of randos, which sucks. That sucks because I work overnight. Everybody else works the day, so my sleeping schedule's a little different, and I kind of want to play with randos. I'd rather play with randos. And if you can at least give me a computer mate, like if somebody just quits, can you at least do that? Shit. Or just give the option of like, hey, do you want to join somebody, help somebody, and join in the middle of the heist or something like that. But overall though, I feel like the experience is that if you got a dedicated group of people, man, it is so much fun to do those heists. The other modes, I mean, they're fine. Like early on, I do remember that it was hard to get in the game because it was so many people trying to get in at the same time to play this. It took forever for me to get online. I think I waited probably weeks later to finally play because, like, the week of, I think I always got stuck at the menu. I think a lot of people did. It was like a lot of people got stuck at the create a character area or something like that, and because of the problems with online. So online, like initially, it was a big problem for most people. But once they got all those bugs fixed, and people started flowing in, it was great. Because I think they might have gave you some. I think they gave you some. I don't know, shark packs or whatever the credit shit's called. Shark because cards. Of that shit. Yeah, I think I got so much money because of that. That I ended up spending on shit. No, I still got that money because I don't have the same fucking character that I had on my Xbox 360 as I do on my Xbox One, because the transfer did not work very well, and I just said fuck it. But yeah, the overall game, good. I mean, overall, like, I mean, even though I don't play it as much as other people, but I mean, it's hard for me to say it's not good. I mean, with the amount of content they got now, I mean, shit. I mean, it's a game within itself. I mean, hell, they sell them separately, right? I mean, it's basically. Yeah. So, yeah. It's a game that's probably still be going on, because I'm curious when Grand Theft Auto 6 comes, what do they do with this? Do they just add to this, or will it be like, hey, this is, or they just be like, this is the Grand Theft Auto 6 world and this is the Grand Theft Auto 5 world? I don't know how they work that in. And can you transfer? I'm hoping they give you the ability to transfer your character to 6 at least. Like say, hey, can I keep all the stuff I had, or like at least like my level, because there's going to be, of course, new content and stuff like that. Oh my God, Maryland got a touchdown. Yes. And I watched the Maryland Ohio State game. But yeah, so yeah, I'm curious about that. But yeah, that Grand Theft Auto Online 10 years ago, man. Think about it, 10 years.
That's crazy.
And we're still here without a 6. And it's still going strong.
Because of this game.
It's still like, yeah,
the downfall of Rockstar.
Like top played most games out there. I mean, shit. Like it's Fortnite in this basically. It seems like
Roblox.
And then like we're
just not cool
Roblox,
enough to know about that.
League of Legends, that's still there up there too. What else we got here? I guess is that it? That's it for 2013? No, we got one more. We got Beyond Two Souls.
Yeah.
It's been 10 years. It almost feel like it's been longer.
It does feel like it's been longer.
Yeah, but this game is only 10 years old. Yeah, this is the Ellen Page game. Before she changed to Ellie.
Before Elliot.
Elliot. I was saying L, like Joel or something, like or Carlisle. But anyway,
it's the one with William Dafoe too, right?
Yeah, William Dafoe and also Dwayne Wayne from Different World was in there. But he was a doctor.
Nice. And
I played little of this game, like just beginning. I just never went back to it. I did want to finish it. Mm-hmm. I just never went back to it. I didn't play enough of it to really like give to say anything about the game, like if it's good or bad. But I know it's got mixed reviews on it. It was just probably like around a 7-ish, I guess, maybe type of game.
Yeah.
And actually, I don't. Let me see what the Metacritic says. I didn't even pick on this. This is one of those David Cage games. This is after. Was there a game between this Heavy Rain and this?
I think this was the follow-up to Heavy Rain.
So this is the follow-up. Darn.
I think. Pretty sure.
Yeah. So this. Yeah. I guess people weren't as high on those type of games, or at least this game. Compared to Heavy Rain, they got a lot of high scores.
Yeah.
But Beyond Two Souls, like, what's the reception? Why do people like it? Yeah, it was polarizing, as it says in the Wikipedia page. I got a 70 on PS3. Somebody, what do they say here? It's astonishing, but Polygon says astonishing. She's the linchpin that holds all the mass together with a painfully human presence. Okay.
That's deep.
Polygon was less impressed. That was from who was that from? Was that from the UK? I think it was from the UK PlayStation Magazine UK. And then Polygon said less impressed with the game's writing, but was exhilarated about Quantic Dream's ability to perfect a new way of telling stories with staggeringly great motion capture. GameSpot said gripping adventure. Cared dearly for her and becoming enamored with this young woman and her extraordinary life. I'm trying to see the bad. These sounds okay. I'm trying to see what's the problem here. IGN game website criticized the game for offering a gaming experience too passive and unrewarding. It is unwise to build up our expectations of being able to choose our actions and then take that away from us, where it feels most important, and a muddy and unfocused and interactive drama to make gamers conditioned to meaningless violence feels something. Joystick criticized the game's lack of a solid character interaction and its unbelievable, unintentionally silly plot. Destroy Toy criticized the game's thin character presentation and frequent narrative dead ends, as well as the lack of meaningful interactivity.
That sounds like a David Cage game.
I mean, I feel like it almost like that in Heavy Rain. I mean, though I don't know, the choices, maybe some of them are like that, even though there's a lot of different endings though. Which I think in this is the same with the endings too. But it's like I feel like it almost can say that about the first game, but that game got such high praise, maybe because it was the first of similar of its kind, really. And I guess now people are pretty much over it. Because this is post also the Telltale games.
Yeah.
So yeah. But I remember some controversy of them being like, oh, in the game, even though you can't get it unless you hack it, was to see like the nude scene or something in the game.
Yeah. There was like a
And I know
shower scene, but they had modeled a full body, so people were able to get in there. I think that was the big issue with that.
yeah, and so yeah, that was the issue. But those horny fanboys, man, they were happy. But but yeah, yeah. So I didn't really, yeah, this one I didn't really play enough of. And the one you gave me, what was that one called? That's on PS4.
Is that Detroit Becoming Human?
Yeah, Joker Human. I probably play more of that one, even. And like I said, it was a glitch with that game, man. For some reason, and that nobody else ever had a problem with that I did, where it just kept like the video would not look good. But maybe it'll probably work now. If I play it through, well, hell, the shit's on PC now, so fuck it. I'll just find up there. But yeah, I wish I could have gave this game more of a chance. Like, even if maybe I didn't like it, but I do like those similar point and click type of games though. But they always compared her look to whatchamacallit on Last of Us. 'Cause I think she was sued, right? She was sued Last of Us because they said it made her look too much like her, Ellen Page.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember if that was if that lawsuit did happen or not. But yeah, they definitely took inspiration, to say the least, on that. It seemed like.
All right. So that's it for 2013. So now we're going back 20 years to Freedom Fighters in 2003. This game that I never heard of, but apparently everybody seemed like it was a pretty good game, even though it was just in the 80s.
Yeah,
it was in the 80s. So yeah, it was a generic game. I'm trying to see.
It was a solid like AA game. You know, it's one of those things that like people probably didn't expect much from. And ended up being, you know, a lot cooler than was expected. You know, there were a lot of games during that generation that were like, here's a generic thing that we're pumping out that hopefully will make us money. And I think that's probably what they were expecting from this. This is basically like what people wanted Homefront to be.
Oh, okay. IO Interactive made the game. It was EA Games. This is the pre Saboteur.
Oh yeah, there you
go. No. It got a high score for GameSpot, 9.3. IGN gave it about an 8.4. Eurogamer gave it a 7. Well, they're probably right. GameSpot 3 out of 5. Yeah, that's probably a good score too. Yeah, the Metacritic's around like the 80s. Like the low 80s, which is pretty good, really. So, yeah, good for them. They also, their guys, they, after this, I think they made the Kane and Lynch games, right? Kane Lynch,
yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah. Eidos announced they would be distribute the sequel. Oh, wait a minute. On April 6, 2004, Eidos Interactive revealed plans for a sequel. Eidos announced it would distribute the sequel in the latter part of 2004. However, IO Interactive announced development of a new game, Kane and Lynch, Dead Men, casting the future of Freedom Fighter sequel in doubt. So today, I'm announcing that they're making a sequel. So, what else we got here? We got Viewtiful Joe came out 20 years ago, man. 20 years ago, we got Viewtiful Joe, man. This great game that should have been. This is like, of all the games that Capcom kept releasing again and again. I mean, basically Resident Evils, and Devil May Cry 2, and what else again? What other games they've been releasing? Resident Evils, Devil May Cry,
Monster World, Monster Hunter.
Yeah, well, Monster Hunter, they get new ones. I mean, they get new ones. I mean, like re-releasing.
Oh, you're just talking about
yeah. Like, this should have been one of those games that been kept re-releasing too. Shit,
it would be nice.
They should release. I'm just saying, like, what the hell? Should have had a sequel. They should have re-released this one. I don't give a damn. I mean, god darn, I'm just surprised they haven't re-released this game.
Put it out on
once.
Phones. Do something.
Damn. Yeah. Oh man, this game was good. Yeah, you got the rewind feature. It's a side-scrolling game with a great artistic style, great combat. slow motion ability and stuff like that, man. Like you dodging or hitting. I mean, it is great. Um, yeah, that game is awesome. Oh man, we should have did talk about this game too, Daniel. Sonic Advance on the N-Gage. This is the best Sonic game.
That's not where it belongs, Dominic. Belongs on a Game Boy Advance.
It's called a Sonic Advance, and it's on the N-Gage. Well,
you can't call it Sonic N-Gage. That's just so bad.
It should have called Sonic Gage.
That is one of the good Sonic games, though.
It is. All right. So, also, we have here United Game Artists was formerly known as AM Annex and Sega AM9 R&D Division. The division existed until 2003, and it merged with Sonic Team. And this is when Tetsuya Mizuguchi, the guy behind, what's it called, Star Channel 9 or something like that? What was it called?
Space Channel 9? Yeah, Space Channel
9. He left the company. Like, that was the guys, they made those games. He was the president of that company, and that's when that happened. I guess, like, this is when, Sega Dreamcast is gone and everything. So Sega's third party, so they merged these guys together with the Sonic Team, and he said, nope, this ain't my Sonic. I like the old Sonic. And he said, I'm leaving. And then he did. So that was the big news. So that's it for 2003. So now we go back 30 years to one game. Shining Force 2 was released. This is Shining Force is like a Sega RPG, probably their best RPG, really, and most well known anyway, because that's the only one I know, honestly. I can really think of off the top of my head. Like as a kid, I was only into RPGs, so I didn't really know about this game anyway. But as I was growing older, I thought all RPGs was just on Super Nintendo, because I was like, hey, Sega don't have no RPGs. I guess that was just a Super Nintendo thing. And then people talk about Shining Force. They always talk about Shining Force. So you say, hey, that was an RPG. And then people had some love for that. And of course, also, well, technically, they have, whatchamacallit? What's that online game?
Phantasy Star.
Phantasy Star.
Yeah,
but Phantasy Star, that's the other one. Yeah, that was the other one. Like Shining Force and that one. But Phantasy Star, I didn't really know much about that one either on Genesis as a kid.
Yeah, me neither.
I didn't hear about that until Dreamcast, honestly. I mean, I heard of Phantasy Star when it was on the not the Mega Drive, what's the one before the Mega Drive? What's that shit called?
The Drive.
The first Sega. The Drive. What the fuck shit was that called? Master System?
Master System,
what it's called?
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I remember seeing the commercial for it. Because it was like in kind of first-person view. Like, that's how they do those old RPGs. Like, you kind of move through a dungeon and kind of first-person mode. You see the enemy. They slash at them. Like you said, yeah, hit them. And they slash and, kind of like that. And that's the first time I ever seen that. Was that game. And I didn't realize that was Phantasy Star, though, at the time. And then I didn't realize that's how you pronounced it, because I was confused, because I thought Fantasy began with the F. So, but anyway, yeah, Shining Force and Phantasy Star are probably like the only RPGs really for Sega. But the Phantasy Star kind of changed because it was kind of more of an online thing. And Shining Force, they have come out with some Shining Force, I believe, I ain't gonna say recent, but like later on. But I don't know if they really were that good though, or anything. But yeah, this is like basically Sega's only really RPG, like on the Genesis, that was sort of known. Yeah, they kind of hold the power of, I guess, getting those Square Enix games over there, or actually Nintendo bought them. Nintendo paid them off to not go over there. That's basically what that was. They pulled the Sony before Sony even had a PlayStation. All right, so now we're going back 40 years, Daniel. 40 years ago, 1983, Sega AM Research and Development number 2 was founded. AM2, Sega AM2, we know them for Virtual Fighter and the whole shit of old arcade games. Like that bike game, I think it's called Hang On or some shit, where you literally had to hang on because you would fall off that bike if you did not hang on. And yeah, and they made that game. That was like the first like kind of simulator arcade game. Station really. So, this is where they started. They started like making arcade games and stuff like that. I mean, and then they made They did. Of course, I know they did Virtual Fighter. They also did. What did AM2 do? They do a lot of shit. Did they do Daytona? Daytona racing.
Okay.
Yeah. Sega games. What else they do? They did Fighting Vipers. Yeah, that was the
It's Sonic the Fighters, Dominic. That's the most important one.
Oh yeah. Well, when I was a kid, when I saw that magazine, I was like, oh my god, a Sonic fighting game. And it wasn't until like maybe years later after it already came out when I finally saw it and I realized, oh my god, it looked horrible. Virtual Cop. They did Virtual Cop.
Yeah,
man.
Virtual Cop, Space Harrier.
Yeah, they done Sega Rally, Shenmue, of course.
Okay.
So this company, and technically they're still around. They just haven't done anything recently. The most recent game I think is the Virtual Fighter 5 something subtitle they had with it. I don't know what it was. But yeah, that's the most recent game I think they did. All right. So that is it for the flashback segment. So we'll take a quick break. When we get back, get to the gaming news.
All right.
And we're back. So let's get to the gaming news. So what we got, Dan?
All right, Dominic. It has been reported that French police have arrested 4 former Ubisoft executives, including the former chief creative officer Serge Hascote and former vice president of editorial and creative services Tommy Francisco, in relation to allegations of sexual assaults. You may remember that there was, allegations made, and then, there Yves Guillemot, the head of Ubisoft, said they were going to have, some third party come in and do an investigation. So sounds like there's some action happening, whether, former guys is doing any help to the current studio or not, but at least, these people may see some justice at least.
Yeah, man. I mean, like, what the so, like, it says sexual assault.
Mm-hmm.
Like an actual assault. Good God, man.
So.
An editor. What the fuck is that title? What does he do? Editorial what?
Editorial and creative services.
Oh, so he just edits, like, some people's creations or something. Like, he looks it over, I guess?
I have no idea, to be honest with you. That's a fancy title for a position that I don't understand, that's for sure.
Yeah, I don't understand that title, yeah.
So.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah, especially if they're guilty, man. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Take them down. Take these scumbags down. Take all of Ubisoft down with them.
Don't take
Ubisoft down.
Get caught, right?
Yeah, no, Rayman didn't get caught.
Okay.
It's hard to have proof when your hands can disconnect from your body. You don't leave much DNA evidence behind. All right, Dominic, and some other kind of very unfortunate news. More layoffs are hitting Naughty Dog, Team 17, Telltale, Twitch, basically anything and everything related to the games industry and even outside of the games industry. We just don't talk about that stuff. Telltale is saying that, the games that they have in development are still under active development, including Wolf Among Us 2, which I know you and I are pretty excited about. Yeah. But, one of the former members of the team that was released said, basically implied that there were a whole lot of them that were released. So I don't know what that means. The Naughty Dog stuff, there's a lot of reports coming out that multiplayer Last of Us game may be in some kind of jeopardy of release. And that's been a rumor that's been going around for a long time now. Unrelated to these layoffs, but here we are again, games industry, seeing a lot of layoffs again, not just specific to the games industry. That's just happens to be what we cover. But like, why, Dominic? Why is it that everybody feels like they need to downsize now? Why are sales going lower? Is it because people don't have the money to buy these games and the game prices are increasing? I mean,
yes.
Wages are staying stagnant and products are getting more expensive. And instead of raising wages, we fire more people because we need our profits.
Oh, but did you see in California, they're raising the minimum wage of fast food restaurants to $20.
Interesting.
That is interesting. I don't
California,
understand.
that's basically the equivalent of $10. So,
But that sucks because now it's like, wait a minute, if I work a job that's like where I had to like go to school and do shit and I'm in debt now, I you mean to tell me I wasted my fucking time because I could have just worked at McDonald's? I could like if, especially like that fucking sucks. Like all wages, I mean, just saying this working at McDonald's is like for $20 an hour. And compared to somebody who probably works somewhere where you, let's just say you're not maybe not a lawyer, but maybe a lawyer. I mean, it all depends what type of lawyer you are, and like where you work. I mean, $20 an hour, like 8 hours or something like that. I mean, you're talking about like you went to school and now you didn't pay, like you didn't pay your school off. You're in debt, and all depends how your life is. And I speak for most black people. Well, it's like you come out of college in debt. So you're actually maybe worse off. Like technically financially anyway, because you owe them money. You owe somebody money that you have to pay. But now you go and work at McDonald's for $20 an hour. I'm not saying that people shouldn't get $20 at McDonald's. I'm just saying that just kind of messes up everything economically, like without you raising wages for everybody. Like you just
I guess that's where I would be confused as to why it only applies to fast food workers. Whereas, like, I mean, you can make the argument that now, like, someone who's in college can work at a fast food restaurant while going to college and you know, make a decent wage, even if they're not working full time, which would allow them to come out of college with a lower amount of debt.
But then you got to ask, like, all depends what you're going to college for. Because at that point, it's like, I might be getting paid less than what I worked at a fast food fucking joint.
I mean, the way I see it, having not really spent a lot of time in college myself, is that, again, like you said, depending on what you're going to college for, but it's some more long-term investment. You know, it's not, I might not come out of college making what I want to be making, but down the line, it gets my foot in the door at an entry-level position in whatever, I forget the word I'm trying to think of, but basically the market that I'm trying to be in, and work my way up from there to theoretically where they are higher positions. You know, now you can argue, you know, if we're talking about like teaching, you know, we kind of know where teachers are in that, you know, pay range, and that's a whole other thing as to why teachers don't get paid more and aren't more valued. Because there's not really, to me at least, it doesn't seem like from the outside looking in, there's a lot of like movement as a teacher, right? Like you don't.
No, there isn't.
I don't go from like, okay, I'm a kindergarten teacher and now I'm a second grade teacher and I'm going to be making a lot more. And now I'm a college professor and I'm making more. Like maybe once you get to that level and you're talking about private, you know, colleges and stuff. But as far as like public schools, it doesn't feel like there's a means of moving higher up the ranks, basically. But that's, you know, a whole other thing. So.
I mean, and that changed the whole dynamic because now also, what if you're a person working like at a warehouse or something? Like, what the fuck is point of me working at a warehouse now? Like certain warehouses. If I can start at $20 an hour at fucking McDonald's, I'm trying to work at McDonald's then instead of breaking my fucking back at a fucking warehouse. And if they're not wearing it, I was like, if you ain't gonna wait. Like, if you ain't gonna make the pay raise, like, what's the fucking point working here?
But that's the thing, right? If they aren't hiring anybody because everybody's working at McDonald's now, then they're gonna have to raise their wages too.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I don't think that's gonna happen. I think it's gonna be that the pay wage, like, yes, the rate they're gonna raise the pay at McDonald's. It's not just McDonald's, like Chipotle and all of them, because they Chipotle fought against it. And somebody else fought against it too. I didn't hear about McDonald's fighting against it because I'm thinking like those places, they're saying it don't matter because
they're gonna be run by robots.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I'm thinking like they're okay with this because they're gonna have less labor force anyway. They're thinking like, we're gonna have less workers anyway. I can pretend like, yeah, we're doing $20 an hour here, man.
I'll pay Steve $20 an hour to maintain these robots.
Yeah, and and yeah, and you know what? They're gonna get an IT guy. That's what they're gonna do. They're gonna get an IT guy to run the McDonald's, basically.
Yeah. And all I got to do is pay him $20. Steve's gonna get paid more elsewhere.
Well, it depends. IT, I mean, yeah, IT, you could get paid more, but you're also gonna get paid a lot less too.
I mean, that's exactly the kind of field where I'm talking about. You know, you go to college for something like that, and you know, you're not necessarily going to get paid buku bucks as soon as you come out of college, but you can find yourself working your way up the ranks to, you know, different clientele and eventually making, you know, significant money.
Yeah, that just messes up everything. Like, you just make this one industry where the pay is, it's like, that's not fixing the problem.
Yeah, again, it seems weird that you would regulate only that one industry. I don't know what there is behind that, why that was the case.
Anyway, so where we at here?
All right, so next up, Dominic, Nintendo is ending online play support and related services that use the internet for the Wii U and the 3DS in April of 2024. I mean, those stores have already been shut down, so this is not entirely hard to believe, but yeah, it's basically the sunsetting of those consoles. Nintendo has moved on and is ready for you to move on to, Dominic.
Yeah, I mean, I already moved on, so I'm good. Man, I doesn't really complain about this, man. I mean, it's going to have to, we all know it's going to end. Yeah. So.
No, it
he stopped the storefronts, right?
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing is like the storefronts are where the stuff that we can no longer access is. Like,
exactly.
And the functionality that we never saw on like the Switch. That's the upsetting part is like not having the virtual console on the Switch. And it's fine that they're doing like this online pass thing because it's very like reminiscent of a Netflix model like we've talked about, but at the same time the library is just not there, so that's, you know, that's the downfall of that situation. So yeah, I don't know that there could be that many people playing online with the Wii U anymore anyway, so yeah, it's maybe time to move on. And internet structure has never been Nintendo's strong suit, so this is not surprising that it's coming maybe a little quicker than it would for a PlayStation or an Xbox console. So, all right, speaking of Xbox, Dominic, Redfall is getting a massive update, which finally includes the performance mode that they had promised, you know, getting 60 frames per second, and a whole bunch of other stuff as well. This basically coincides with what people are reporting are basically single-digit numbers of people playing that game concurrently on Steam. Now, I would argue that Steam is not necessarily the most representative of, you know, the play of that game because that game is on Game Pass. So I feel like that would have a larger group of people there, but obviously following the pretty negative reviews, you know, I'm not necessarily expecting a long tail on this, but it is good to see that, one, they have finally come out with the performance mode, which definitely should have launched with this game, in addition to some seemingly pretty significant gameplay changes, like, you know, increasing the number of enemies in the open world environments, which people have complained about being kind of stagnant and empty feeling. So, you know, I hope this is, you know, I don't necessarily, I'm not going to set my expectations for this, but like, I hope this could be the first step in basically the No Man's Skyification of this game, where by the end of all of these updates, we see something that is a lot closer to what we were hoping that game was going to be and what that game was being sold as, instead of what it actually released as.
Hold on. I'm sorry. Somebody had sent me a text. I was reading it. Yep. But yeah, no, but I'm happy that they're fixing this. That they're fixing this, like, cause I was really thinking they were just gonna just leave this alone.
Yeah.
You know, like just minimum updates, you know, or something like that. But for them to actually fix, I didn't know the performance was bad on the PC. Honestly, I was just paying attention to the Xbox. I didn't pay attention to the PC at all. So I'm like yeah, and I know it's single figures on the Steam, which I mean I'm not surprised by that at all. That number. But like,
Like
what
who's
kind of
playing that
performance
game?
issues did it have on PC? Like what was it? Because on Xbox, I totally know about that, but I didn't know
Yeah.
PC. Like I thought it
Well,
ran
they've
fine.
got
It just
some
looks
specific
bad.
stuff listed. Apparently, there were addressed several edge case memory crashes, which, if it's edge case, it seems like it's maybe a little, whatever, not frequent. Address graphical corruption issues with changing resolutions with AMD GPUs. Fix an issue with resetting game settings to their default values while windowed. Anti-alias settings. Various performance improvements made to hero abilities. Okay, that's getting more into like the gameplay aspects of it. But yeah, I mean, there's a long list broken out by gameplay and combat and environment and stuff. So it seems like there has been significant work done on this game. I admittedly don't have any experience with what it was like before, so I would be interested to see what your experience is if you go back to this. I would also like to see like how it is now. Like if I jump into this now, like am I gonna not see what other people were seeing and be like, oh yeah, this game is actually pretty fun. I don't know why everybody was so down.
Hold on, when is this supposed to happen?
I'm trying to see. I thought I saw somewhere that it was okay. Publisher patch notes about today's. Okay, yeah. So it's out now. It released on the 6th. So yesterday.
All right. So everybody has to review the game.
Yep.
Now.
I knew my review in progress would pay off, Dominic. So. Yeah, I have hopes that game can end up in a better position than it launched in. All right, Dominic, here is the news we've been waiting for, and hopefully next time we record this podcast, it will be done and we'll have every single Activision Blizzard King game on Game Pass available immediely.
Oh my God, I'm hoping so much.
Microsoft.
I made some space, Daniel. I deleted some games. I'm ready to go.
Microsoft Diablo 4 day one. All right. So Microsoft is expected to close the Activision Blizzard King deal on Friday the 13th. Kind of fitting for how much of a nightmare that Sony expects this to be for them. So ahead of their October 18th deadline, it's the time, Dominic. It is the time.
Yeah, it is, man. I can't wait. I want to see what happens with this whole deal, that this apocalypse that the PlayStation fanboys they've been saying, the thing that's going to destroy the industry.
Yep. Now that we have kind of a solid date, Dominic, we talked about this last time. We thought we had some closure on it. How soon after do you think we start seeing some games on Game Pass? And do you think we see like a Diablo 4 immediately, or do they hold off on that for like maybe around Christmas or, the holiday season when they're trying to sell consoles?
You're saying that soon? I was going to say a year away for Diablo
Really?
4. Yeah, I mean,
wow.
I was going to say until they do some type of expansion or some type of update or something, a special update. But I don't know. I honestly don't know. Because when people were saying like just talking and saying like, hey, there's rumors that they can just be releasing games right away when it's done or something like that. Because people are always saying that there's some people who said like they went to buy Modern Warfare, and this is another country where it said this will be like.
This is included as part of your subscription or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. So I was thinking like, oh shit, does that mean it's going to be really that soon that we can play these games? Yeah. I don't know, man. I mean, I want it to be. I mean, I really wanted to be the day of. Honestly, I want it to be Friday that I can do it or whatever. Like whatever time I can just get all these Activision games for free. Like I really want to. I want to play some Call of Duty.
I want to play some Skylanders.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder. I mean, like, I don't know if we're going to see like Modern Warfare 3 become a day one kind of thing, because I think they still have a deal with Sony as far as like marketing and stuff this year. So that's probably off the table, but I wouldn't be surprised to see that game on Game Pass in like the next 6 months or something, depending on what that contract is, you know?
Yeah.
And then next year's, of course, because there's always a Call of Duty, next year's game would be day one Game Pass. So, yeah, it's exciting. I mean, we've talked about it. Like, obviously, consolidation to a point is bad for an industry, but there's so much bad that was happening at Activision as it was. I guess, like, to wrap it into the layoffs, that's going to be the worst thing that comes out of this, because with every merger purchase, there's always redundancies. So you're gonna absolutely see people lose their jobs from Activision, Blizzard, you know, and it's not just going to be Bobby Kotick, unfortunately. You know, that's going to be the problem. And, you know, I think luckily for Microsoft, that's probably just going to fall into the category of like, look, everybody else is doing it. Why is it big news that we're doing it? But I think it's going to be at a pretty large scale, and that's going to be really unfortunate. And that's going to be the worst thing that comes out of this deal on the short term. Like, again, obviously consolidation in the industry can have long rippling effects, but for now we're going to get games on Game Pass, and that's going to be pretty cool, Dominic.
Yeah, it really is, man. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. Happening, man, to be able to do this, and hopefully, you know what, if Sony wants to go buy another big company and put everything on their pass or whatever, go right ahead, man.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it comes down to for me. Is I joked about this earlier with you. You know, like, let Disney buy everything so everything ends up on Disney Plus, because now Sony has announced their Bravia Core high bitrate video streaming service, which was exclusive to their Bravia TVs, is now coming as part of like the PlayStation Plus extra special highest premium edition. And it's like, oh, great. Now they have their own streaming service. Does that mean those movies that I thought they had a contract with Netflix are going to be exclusive to them? Because, like, you got Peacock, you got Paramount Plus, you got HBO Max, you got, you know, Disney Plus, you got Netflix. Like, it's getting out of control. You know, at a certain point, it was like, oh, right, we're going to cut the cord and you're going to be able to stream stuff. It's like, yeah, but now I'm paying more than a cable subscription plus an HBO subscription to have all of these different streaming services. And it's untenable. Obviously, like, oh, well, you can turn this one on for a month and you can turn this one off, and, you know, like, but then you're doing like all this juggling.
Yeah. You want to make things more convenient for yourself, right? I mean, come on. Especially something like this. It's like, dude, I got to worry about remembering other important things.
Yep.
But I don't want to keep worrying about, like, okay, I have to cancel this and I have to put this up. Yeah, that's too much.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that's where things are there. So hopefully by the time we record the next podcast, that'll be closed up and we'll be seeing a deluge of games, whether it's, you know, new ones, old ones, whatever. But we'll be seeing a nice injection to Game Pass. All right, Dominic, new releases this week. First up, we got Scorn is now out on the PS5. The holiday hit of last year for the Xbox is now available for everyone to play, so they can check that out. You mentioned it earlier, but the Lamplighter League is now out on PC, Xbox, and Xbox Series consoles. Warhammer 40K Dark Tide, also now out on the Xbox consoles, as you mentioned earlier. Front Mission 2 remake, that's now out on the Nintendo Switch. Wargroove 2, that one kind of came as a surprise to me, is now out on the PC and Nintendo Switch. I knew that game was coming. I did not expect it to be releasing so soon, though.
That's I didn't. Yeah, that really did.
So that's cool. Borderlands 3, the Ultimate Edition, is now out on the Nintendo Switch. So if you want to play that on your Switch, you can check that out. NHL 24 is down on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series. No PC version of that, so no naked NHL player mods, Dominic. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
How come you don't hear about that with like Madden, Dominic, on the PC? Where are the nude mods for that?
People are homophobes. They don't care about seeing gay men. See, man. But NHL has women, though. You know, they have because the woman hockey player was on the front of the last year's one. It was 2 of them. So maybe I don't hear about that. But you know what? You don't hear about that. Do you hear about that in 2K though?
No.
Oh,
no.
So yeah. I don't know.
Although I haven't done my research, Dominic. Maybe I need to do some investigation.
There's gotta be. But you know what? I'm not even gonna say that. It's just people are homophobes, but it's just funny to see a big schlong just running around and something like that. Like people just they homophobes, but they love dicks. So that's just how it is.
Yep. All right. Speaking of big dicks, Dominic, Detective Pikachu returns. That's now out on Nintendo Switch. The review scores that I've seen for that have not been particularly good. They've been around like 6s.
Was it good for the original one?
I was just thinking to myself, like, I don't know that they were particularly good for the original, but I remember that being treated as kind of like a cult hit, at least. Like obviously it wasn't Pokemon levels of popular, but I remember people talking about it.
So it's not like a
positive light.
Like a Professor Layton or a...
I don't know what these games are, honestly.
Ace Ventura. I mean, I don't either.
Because that's what I thought it was.
I thought you at least played one.
No, I don't think I played any of the original.
Or Ace
Detective
Attorney
Pikachu.
or something.
But yeah, that's what I would expect it to be, is something similar to that, is,
you find like a Pokey Murderer or something?
Yeah,
or
I think there definitely is like murder.
A Pokey Jack the Whipper.
Oh, Jesus. Growlithe has been taking everybody out in street alleys. All right, Dominic. And then Assassin's Creed Mirage.
Whores.
Oh, no.
Killing those whores. What's the good-looking Pokemon?
Mr. Mimes. They're the most human-like, Dominic.
What's the most human female one?
Probably like one of those new generation, like, plant ones or something.
Yeah, because that's what I think about. You know what?
They all turn into like tall ladies now. Don't they?
I don't think they ever sexualized a Pokemon. At least in the generation I was playing them.
No, I mean the closest thing we had was Jinx,
and like Manchop or something.
Oh yeah.
Machop or something like
just strong.
But what's the one with the multiple hands? Is Machamp? Is that Machamp?
Yeah, Machamp. I think.
Okay.
Because there's Machamp. There was the one in the middle. I can't remember my hand job. All right, hand job. Assassin's Creed Mirage, that's now out on basically everything except the Switch. Seems like reviews are relatively positive on this, like not blowing anybody away, but it's getting back to a more linear, more smaller Assassin's Creed of like 2 and Brotherhood and of that era, instead of these large, sprawling, never-ending games. I think I saw like 10 to 20 hour completion times.
Yeah,
I think.
And some people were happy with that. There are some people who are not, because like I saw a guy say, don't take away those games, because those were, somebody said, like, those are my favorite ones, are the ones with all the stuff to do. And I was like, oh, well, they're still there.
They would have been my favorite games too if I was 10 years old and couldn't afford any more than one game a year. So well, I get it. Men. I mean, depends on what you consider a grown-ass man, Dominic.
No, I mean by age.
No, I know.
But yeah, I mean, no, you like what you like, because like I said, I did enjoy it, but it was a lot of game there, but it was just, it didn't have to be. That's the thing.
Sometimes it can be too much, especially when they kind of spread it thin, right? It's like when you're doing the same thing over and over again.
Exactly. That's what somebody says. Like, yeah, it seems great, but then it's the same thing over again. But
it's filler.
What's the point?
Yeah. So, yeah, it's cool to see that's. Yeah, it's like you mentioned it earlier. We're in that season now, Dominic. The game releases have begun kicking off, and in the next coming weeks and month, it's just going to be a deluge of pretty big titles until the holiday season gets here and things slow down a bit. But even then, like, I feel like game releases are getting later and later because we're getting like Super Mario RPG is in like early mid-November, I think, because Wonder is Wonder this month? I know it's on the cover of Game Informer. Super Mario Brothers Wonder is releasing on October 20th. Oh yeah, because it comes out the same day as Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's Spider-Man getting his butt kicked.
I mean, might possibly, might be, but I think they'll both sell quite well.
I don't think it's really going to be a lot of crossover. I mean, like crossover as in like sales, like taking away sales. Yeah. I should say. I think both games are still going to sell. Like they're going to sell a lot. It's not going to hurt. I don't think it's going to hurt many people.
No. I think Sony and Nintendo are both going to eat well. So.
Yeah.
All right, Dominic, you got anything else for the people this week?
No, I think I'm good, man. Go O's. So there you go. Oh, soak it in. I think that's the hashtag. Soak it in because the splash zone.
Oh, that's good times. All right, Dominic, thank you guys as always for listening. You can check us out on Twitter. Dominic is at DStallworth5. I'm at Regulus MB. The podcast is at Superpod, SUPAPOD. Superpod.com is the website. You can check us out there. It has all of our previous podcasts, as well as links to all the places you can find us, including YouTube, where there's a video version of this podcast, as well as iTunes, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, and Spotify. And until next time, guys, talk to you later.
All right, see ya.